Hello, everybody. Ron Well here. I'm going to do a quick thing about what's been going on with the voting for the tax bill and all the other stuff. I don't use a script when I do videos. I have to take some notes, but my videos are still about 90% better than the jerk offs making videos now, particularly with stocks and stuff and covered call, ETFs to pay dividends. To put together a video on YouTube. They don't have any preparation. They're jumping around from screens, but they make sure they put out a video that's like over an hour long. Why? Because they're monetized. The longer you talk and the longer people watch, the more money you make. So they just shoot off their mouths, okay? My videos won't be more than 5 minutes of that. I'm just letting you know that, okay? This insignia is a specialist fifth class, which I served in the United States Army, 2 tours, 1 active, 1 ready reserve, and I was a specialist fifth class in the Army Security Agency, ASA. May not have never heard of it, but you ever hear of the NSA? Well, we were the military wing of the NSA, okay? That's all I'll talk about. So this isn't some fake thing here, okay? Anyway, I'm noticing that the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Sekou Jeffries, he's the minority leader. You shouldn't call him a minority just because he's black. He's just got a big mouth. But he's been yakking for over an hour, and they're just letting him because they're all pussies. Republicans are just as big pussies as the Democrats, okay? I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Republican, or I voted for Trump because he had balls, and I like that, okay? So there was some problems last night, and it didn't look like the bill was going to pass. And then they said Trump called the holdouts in his office. And after he got done talking to them, most of them gave in. I could imagine what he had on each one of them, right? There's a thing about Powell, which I wrote in a comment on X. Right? He's going to be investigated, maybe even indicted for lying and stuff. First of all, he's spending over $1 billion on a building. He's going to live in for what? He's going to be fired. But the thing is, he lied about why he didn't lower rates. He says it's because of the tariffs. All of a sudden, they came out of nowhere, right out of his ass. So he's blaming Trump because not lowering the rates. Okay, so they got to fire his ass. But anyway, Hakeem's talking and talking and talking. Ain't going to do any good. They're going to vote for it, and it's going to pass. I give my hats off to the Democrats as begrudgingly, because at least they move in lockstep. Now, I don't like that kind of thing. It's like you don't have a fucking brain. You move in lockstep. Not one Democrat in the House or the Senate voted for this bill. And I'm just hoping, though, it's going to come back to bite them in the ass in the midterms, particularly about the tax cuts, the significance of the tax cuts on the middle class in this country. The middle class, by the way, in case you didn't know, really are the people that make this country work and move and succeed, okay? You got the rich people, of course, and then you got the poor out with their hands out all the time. But us middle class people are the ones that make these things happen, okay? So my hat's off for the middle class, but these political parties, I mean, I have almost as much contempt for the Republicans as I do the Democrats. The Democrats just move in lockstep and blindly follow their stupid-ass leaders. The Republicans, some of them have principles, and they got to think on principles like the Liberty Group or whatever the hell they were holding out on. Libertarians. It's funny. I remember libertarians when they first came about years and years ago, and like everything else, one group of libertarians started fighting among themselves, and then some people splintered off from there and formed another group. And to make a long story short, by the end of the fiasco, after about a month or so of fighting, there were 3 different groups of libertarians who all claimed to be the true followers of Ayn Rand. I'm pretty sure most of you know who she was, the individual that won't depend on government and anything, except she had to do it in the end when she was dying of cancer, and she had to get disability. She didn't apply for it. Her secretary did it for unbeknownst to her. But anyway, I'm getting off the thing. Anyways, 3 libertarian groups are fighting, right? So I jump in with a troll account, and I said, my name is Libertarian Larry, and I'm the only true libertarian. And I gave out some points of items why I was the only true libertarian. And one of them was like, anyone that has a daughter a birth of a daughter, she'd throw the daughter in a river, like I think the Chinese used to do, throw them in a river, right? I made all kinds of outlandish stuff. Unless you're making $8 million a year, you shouldn't even be allowed to live in this country. And they took me serious. They really did, and threw me out of the group I was in. So anyway, enough of that shit. Anyway, we had this guy Massey, a Republican, who he didn't vote for it at all. He wasn't even convinced by Trump. Trump said to him, I think, that, well, you're going to have be prepared for a lot of fun in the midterms. Massey, in case you didn't know who he was, during the COVID stuff, when Pelosi was the the House leader, majority leader, she's trying to get this bill passed for COVID aid for people, right? And this jerk off was holding out, and he's making a speech about it, why he opposes it, and she rolled right the fuck over him. She stopped them from talking like they should do to this jerk off Jeffries. Somehow she didn't. She just said, "Let's take the vote." It just shut them right up, right? So I don't think Massey's going to be around after the next election. I think that's about it. I said everything, okay? But like Trump said in one interview, he doesn't trust anybody 100%, and includes his own party. And I believe with his own party, he should really mistrust them even more than he does the Democrats. So hopefully they'll pass this thing sometime today, and I'll be getting more money. Have a good weekend.